Imagine this, you're driving home after dinner with friends and you see these blue and red lights flash in your rear view mirror. Your stomach drops, you pull over. The cop walks up, he shines a light in your face and says, "I smell alcohol. I need you to step out of the car and perform these standard field sobriety exercises so I can make sure you're safe to drive." Well, it sounds like a polite request, doesn't it? It sounds like you can just comply and let him know, hey, I could do these things and let me go on my way home. But here's what's going on. If you say yes, then you're handing the police the exact evidence that they need to arrest you, even if you're barely over the limit or even if you're sober but just nervous. But if you say no, do you lose your license immediately? Do you go to jail automatically? And the decision you make in this split second can change your life forever. I'm Attorney Adam, and in today's video, we're going to expose the truth about field sobriety exercises in Florida. We're going to talk about what the law actually says you have to do versus what the police are hoping that you'll do. Now, you need to stick around until the end because I'm going to give you a specific script on exactly what to say to the officer so you don't accidentally talk your way into a DUI conviction. Let's cut right to it. The truth is this. In Florida, field sobriety exercises are 100% voluntary. That means you don't have to do them. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, Adam, won't I look guilty if I refuse? But here's the harsh reality. These exercises, meaning walking the line, standing on one leg, following the pen with your eyes, they're designed for you to fail. They're completely subjective. And as a former prosecutor, I can tell you that we use these exercises to build probable cause to arrest you and then to build more evidence to convict you. Think about it like this. If you have a bad knee, if you're overweight, if you're over 60 years old, what if you're just terrified because a guy with a gun or multiple guys with guns are staring at you on the side of a highway? You're going to wobble. And on the police body camera, a wobble looks like you're drunk. Now, we don't want to be technical and talk like a lawyer here. We want to talk about reality. And the reality is that these roadside gymnastics are not the same as a breath, blood, or urine test. And in Florida, the implied consent law usually applies to the breath, blood, or urine test after you're arrested, not before you're arrested, not on the roadside, but only after you're arrested. But this roadside dance, this is done before you're arrested, and these are 100% voluntary, meaning you don't have to do them. We see this all the time in pop culture and on TV. You see the guy who's trying to recite the alphabet backwards while balancing on one foot, and the whole thing looks ridiculous, right? But when it's happening to you, it's not funny, it's terrifying. So I want you to shift your mindset. The cop is doing their job. He's looking for clues. He's looking for what are called clues of impairment or signs of impairment. When you agree to do the eye test, you're giving him a scientific medical exam on the side of the road. Now understand, they have no idea what the science is behind this medical and scientific exam, but they're still attempting to do that. And they're going to go to court and they're going to BS their way through all this and talk about the science of the eyes. Now look, as a quick aside, great lawyers know how to defend against that. But I always tell you guys, why have us defend against it when you can just say, no, thank you? Would you let a stranger give you a medical exam in a parking lot? No, absolutely not, right? So why would we do it here? Okay, it just doesn't make sense, folks. So the officer tells you, step out and walk this line for me. What do? Well, most people are conditioned to comply. What do I say? Well, you don't want to be rude. You don't want to be aggressive. But I always recommend being a polite refuser. You say, officer, I understand you're doing your job. However, I've been advised or told not to perform any of these exercises. I politely decline. No, thank you, sir. No, thank you, ma'am. Short, sweet, and simple. They may push back a little. They're going to say, well, if you don't do this, I'm going to have to base my decision on what I've seen so far, which is kind of code word for, hey, I'm taking you to jail. But here's the hard truth, and let this sink in. You're going to jail anyway. You're going to jail whether you do the dance or whether you say no thank you. And the odds are when you do the dance, you're going to look drunk, you're going to fail. Not necessarily because you're drunk, but because it's 100% perfect or guilty in the eyes of the cops. And you're going to be doing these on the side of the road in bad lighting. Maybe you have the cops' strobe lights from their cars going on, your car's whizzing by, your heartbeat's beating out of your chest. This is scary stuff. You're never going to do that. I've been lecturing to people on this exact topic for over 15 years. And every single time I lecture, I have at least 2 people completely sober do my physical exercises. And in 15 years, 0 people. Nobody has ever beaten my physical exercises. So if you can't beat mine completely sober without an imminent arrest happening, you're not going to win on the side of the road with the cops either. If you or loved ones facing a DUI charge in Florida, don't wait. Your future is limitless, but only if you protect it. Now, if you like this video, stay tuned. We put out videos like this every week to help you understand the law and protect your freedom. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.